What's happening, y'all? It's Falcons Friday. This is Falcons Daily. I'm CG, your host, and we wanted to hope everybody's had a good week so far. It's been a long week, really. I mean, I have been waiting for, feels like about a month for the Falcons to play a football game. I know some of you probably feel the same, but it's creeping and crawling up on us here. It is Friday, October 10th, 2025, and this game takes place on Monday night, so just 3 more days, and the Falcons will take the field against the Buffalo Bills. We're wearing our throwbacks. Buffalo's wearing their throwbacks. Visually, it's going to be pretty cool to see that. Hopefully, on the scoreboard, it will also be visually and aesthetically pleasing, with the Falcons having at least one more point than Buffalo. But leading into that game, we got to talk about injuries, and the injury report for both teams not looking the greatest. When you look at the Falcons right now, they're they're trending up with the exception of Darnell Mooney, who did not practice with his hamstring. That's not a good sign. And Clark Phillips III has a triceps injury. He also didn't practice on Thursday. But we got Nate Carter back, backup running back. He was a full participant. And Taquan Graham, again, in his 21-day window to return to the team from IR. He logged a full practice with his calf injury. So I'm not going to be in the mind of Raheem Morris, but I honestly don't see a world. I mean, if TQ is practicing full on Thursday, the first day, I don't see a world where he's not re-added to the 53-man roster for this game on Monday night. Kadero Hodge did log a limited practice. He had the groin injury. AJ is back, as we already know. And another good sign, Natron Brooks did have some limited practice as well. He's got a shoulder issue, but the big thing with him was the concussion that he suffered against Washington. So good to see that he's going to be back. Also, injury report for Buffalo, they've got some guys banged up as well. Looking at they had they had 2 guys who didn't practice. They had about 9 guys in their report. Matt Milano, the linebacker, who's one of their better defenders, did not practice. He's got a pectoral issue. It's unlikely that he may play. They are getting back Ed Oliver, so the defensive tackle who plays over the middle. He had an ankle injury and he was limited in practice, so we got to keep our eyes on him. Dalton Kincaid with an oblique. And then, of course, a guy we know here in the NFC South, Curtis Samuel, from his time with the Panthers. He's got a couple of injuries, neck and ribs, but he was limited. Only TJ Sanders and Milano were the 2 guys who did not practice for them. But again, it would be pretty big if Milano couldn't go and if Ed Oliver couldn't go. That would open things up for the defense almost certainly. And it's also probably part of the reason why teams have been able to just run the ball on Buffalo. I mean, against New England, they didn't give up very much on the ground, but they gave it up in the air. And I wonder if that was part of Mike Vrabel's game plan. But again, Buffalo's rushing defense is one of the worst in the NFL right now. So the Falcons hopefully can take advantage of that. And question for all of you, I won't say a featured matchup, but 2 high-profile players in this game. Of course, on the Falcons side, you got Bijan Robinson, and then on the opposite side for Buffalo, you've got their running back, James Cook. And these are 2 players that have been impactful for their teams over the last couple of years. Cook came into the league in 2022, and Bijan came in a year later. Who's more valuable to their team? This season, exponentially, it's going to be Bijan. But what we did do is put together some numbers, and we'll let you guys be the judge as to who's a little bit more valuable. When you look at the rushing yards, when you look at the games played, they both played the exact same amount of games over the last 3 seasons. This is a comparison from 2023 up until right this very moment. So, again, James Cook has the advantage in touchdowns scored. Bijan Robinson has the edge in total yards. So again, that it could be more of a product of the Falcons not finishing in the red area and Buffalo having a better success rate with that. Also, better quarterback play too, because that could also be showing why the yards aren't so even. Again, they played the same amount of games, 38. And again, Cook just 4 more touchdowns, but Bijan has done a lot more work on in the air in terms of receiving yards. But I think that the thing that limits I mean, James Cook, don't get me wrong, he's a very valuable player, but when you look at his team, they have the most valuable player on their team, and that is quarterback Josh Allen. So I think a lot of it goes through him, and Cook is kind of like a counterpunch to what Josh Allen can do offensively, whereas Bijan has been the main person in our offense really since he stepped foot in Flowery Branch. So again, it's an interesting kind of comparison to see these two guys have success in the league, and also we'll see what kind of impact they will have on Monday night. Bijan, of course, we expect him to get a bulk of the carries. James Cook, hard to tell right now how they're going to want to attack the Falcons, especially coming after a loss. Will they want to switch things up, or are they going to continue just to stay right where they're at? Rumors swirling around the Atlanta Falcons facility, they continue, and it has to do with our offensive coordinator, Zach Robinson. And again, Raheem Morris touched on it last week, talking about Zach Robinson and his and being probed or being groomed possibly to take over at Oklahoma State for Mike Gundy. And right now, Zach Robinson not really speaking on it. He's trying to be respectful and all that of his current employer. What he told to the media was, I'll kind of leave that, but just honestly, I'm focused on today and progressing this week. That was what he was asked, or that was his response after being asked about any contact between himself and the Oklahoma State Cowboys. So, Raheem had already said that he wants his coordinators and his staff to get these kind of opportunities, get these kind of looks. And yes, it would hurt the Falcons if we had to switch to another offensive coordinator. It could possibly stunt the growth of Michael Penix or anybody else in the offense. But it's the nature of this business is that if you do a good job somewhere, somebody else is watching, and they're going to be willing to probably pay you a little bit more money to do the job for them where they're at. So, we'll see how it goes with Zach Robinson. Perhaps, he may take the job and leave at the end of the season. Maybe they're just probing and he could be happy in Atlanta and wants to stay. Either way, rumors, they're kind of fun to talk about. All right. We had one comment from our last video on Thursday, and that was from Samuel Davis, our buddy Samuel Davis, 1524. Casey Washington is big and fast. If Moody can't go, he will be responsible for you taking the top off the defense. Agreed. Stop the Bills' tight ends, and that's half of their offense. Make them stop Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. It's time for Jesse Bates to have a Player of the Week game. Dorless and Ebiketie might shine in this game. Yeah, I don't disagree with you, Samuel, on how to stop Buffalo. I really feel like, their tight ends, Dalton Kincaid is one of them. He could play a factor in keeping the chains moving. But I really feel like it starts with Josh Allen. It starts and ends with him. If you're going to stop a couple of players, you really got to look at him and James Cook, of course, the running back. So it's a bulk of their offense. I mean, I feel like Josh Allen's a guy. Yeah, I mean, he can pass, he can run, he can do those things. But I feel like, if you muddy the pocket and collapse it on him to give him nowhere to go, then that's your best opportunity. You got to keep yourselves I feel like you have to defend them the same way you defend the Philadelphia Eagles, which is keeping Buffalo out of short yardage situations and also forcing Allen to move against the grain of his body to make bad throws. Excuse me. I think that's the catalyst for beating them. But yes, I also do agree with you on on the running attack. That's our bread and butter. I mean, and also it's Buffalo's weakness on defense right now. So yeah, if we can run the football with Bijan, Tyler Algier, maybe even Nate Carter coming back in, Penix squeezing in some yards, or heck, how about Ray McLeod on the jet sweep, something like that could also work. Talking about Jesse Bates. Yeah, I would love to see, this is a game right here, I would love to see Jesse Bates have that and play mind games with Josh Allen, pre-snap, being able to dissect what the Bills want to do offensively. I would love to see that. We need to see some of that Jesse Bates juice that we saw 2023, 2024. Hasn't really been there yet. He hasn't had a bad season, but it's been more of a quiet one for JB3. So I agree, Samuel Davis, with a lot of your takes there. And of course, again, we talked about where you guys can follow us on social media and things like that. Again, I'm at Craig G Sports, CRAIG, the letter G in the word sports. FanArch, their logo is up at the top left corner. They're at FanArch Co. FANARCHCO. And we'll be back this weekend again to give you a little bit more of a breakdown and a preview of this game, give you our keys to victory, and then we'll also be back on Monday to give you one final look at Monday night's contest. Again, it starts 7:15. We'll just say 7 o'clock just to make sure you got the channel on. ESPN, nationally, CBS 17 in Atlanta. All right, we'll talk to you guys this weekend. Sayonara and buenos noches.